So more events are unfolding just as I expected. I discovered something last night that actually made my jaw drop, and I actually pointed at the TV with amazement. And I'm actually getting a bit frustrated because there are a lot of things I'm predicting quietly to myself that are actually coming true, and I wish I was more on top of getting these things out before they happened, and so I'm going to try and do that. And look, I'm not personally interpreting anything the New Age says. I am taking it as is. I'm taking them at their word. And all the pieces fit together perfectly. I'm not filtering this stuff through my own personal lens. I'm taking them at their word. And the program for bringing about the new age of Lucifer is embedded in their writings. You just have to put the pieces together. But the puzzle you put together is not going to be the one you find in the typical Christian prophecy community, which unfortunately, for the most part, follows the lead of conspiracy theory, which is modern-day Gnosticism. And this latest development with Kanye West has unfolded just as I believed it would, based on what the New Age says. Now, to fully understand this latest development with Kanye West, we're going to have to look back to early 2017 and a comment I made on one of Vigilant Christian's videos about Kanye West's public outburst a while back. So in case you don't know, back in early 2017, Kanye West went through this, we'll call it an episode, where he was revealing what many people believe were his real feelings and the real truth about the Illuminati. In other words, he was essentially breaking his mind control and revealing the truth. This was pretty much the consensus among everyone who studies the New World Order and the Illuminati, that Kanye was rebelling against them and fighting his mind control programming. Kanye's so-called exposing or speaking out against the Illuminati and their control over Hollywood and the masses was major news.
He performed 2 songs and then went on a tirade.
Y'all don't want to lose again. A lot of people here tonight felt like they lost. You know why? Because y'all been lied to. Google lied to you. Facebook lied to you. Radio lied to you.
What do you think about this whole meltdown that happened recently with Kanye?
I'm beginning to believe every day a little bit more in this Illuminati.
When this first happened, I wasn't fooled by this because this made perfect sense to me, because the Illuminati are meant to be exposed and defeated. And so it would only make sense that people formerly under the Illuminati's control would begin to break that control and speak out. It all fits into the plan that I'm talking about. Now, if you've watched any of my What's Really Coming series, you might have surmised that I'm trying to overthrow and debunk everyone's understanding of the New World Order and Illuminati, and that it's all a big satanic deception. The Age of Light will be ushered in by a preceding Age of Darkness, which is the New World Order. Everyone's focused on the dark, scary Illuminati, and I'm trying to get people to understand that the focus on the Illuminati is the deception. Satan very soon is going to perform an enormous magic trick. And just like the magician who uses the sleight of hand to get everyone's focus away from what he's really doing, well, Satan is using the Illuminati and the New World Order to distract you from what his ultimate plan is. And people like the Vigilant Christian and others in the Christian prophecy community who study the New World Order wrongly thought that Kanye's outburst against the Illuminati was actually a good sign. And I saw all these comments like, oh, we should pray for him, maybe he's coming to know Jesus, and this and that. And I knew that that was not what was really going on. What was happening was that he was doing exactly what Satan wants. He was rebelling against the dark forces of the world and being awakened into the light, the false light of the New Age and Lucifer. He was undergoing initiation into the mystery school worldview. And so I made the following comment. Now, I know this screenshot here says I typed it 9 months ago, but I actually took this screenshot last September 25th, 2017, which would make this comment about 1.5 years old. And so I said the following: Satan allowed Kanye to speak out in order to help further get the world to wake up to a New Age worldview. By speaking out, Kanye is not working against the plans of the New World Order. Rather, he is furthering the agenda of the New Aquarian Order by speaking out against the phony New World Order. Sounds silly, but I am convinced that this is what is actually going on. Kanye was intended to speak out. There will be more like him. Now, this may be a bit confusing because I used to use the term New World Order, capital NWO, to refer to the Antichrist kingdom, and the lowercase NWO in quotes to refer to the New World Order of the conspiracy theorists, how it's usually used. but I've since dropped that. I only use the term New World Order just like everyone else does. And so in this comment, when I say New World Order in the capitals, I'm talking about the kingdom of the Antichrist. And so to revise that, I should say, by speaking out, Kanye is not working against the plans of the Antichrist. Rather, he is furthering the agenda of the New Aquarian Order or Antichrist kingdom by speaking out against the phony New World Order, which would be revised as capital NWO without the quotes. So my whole point there was that before too long, he will be openly spreading New Age messages and teachings, that Kanye West would very soon awaken to a New Age worldview. And it took a bit longer than I thought, but in the past few days, this is actually what has finally happened. He was apparently quiet for about a year, but very recently he has taken to Twitter, putting out several tweets a day, and I honestly couldn't believe what I saw on his Twitter page. Even though deep down I knew this would happen, I'm still quite shocked to see it. Maybe I'm shocked to see how right I was, I don't know. But it's creepy. Here's a handful of tweets that show he has finally been initiated into the mystery school worldview. It's straight out of the writings of Alice Bailey and other big New Age leaders and authors. The exact same language about consciousness, evolution, breaking out of our prisons. Here are some of the ones he's posted in the past few days. This was the first one I saw, the one that made my jaw drop. He says, new ideas will no longer be condemned by the masses. We are on the frontier of massive change. Again, that's a big New Age thing, that we're approaching a new threshold of change, of transformation. And then he says, starting from breaking out of our mental prisons. I actually pointed at the television and said, mental prisons. He said we need to break out of our mental prisons, just like David Wilcock and other New Agers and Gnostics. Go look at my What's Really Coming series. I talk about all that there, how that is a big term, how that is a major concept that they use, that they talk about all the time. And here are some others. We're evolving at warp speed, okay? The idea of evolution. Another one, the more people contribute to real-time global consciousness, the faster we evolve. Again, evolution, evolve, and then consciousness, global consciousness. Alice Bailey and many other New Agers talk about how we're moving toward a global consciousness. Another one, strive for universal consciousness, not segregated consciousness. Guys, this is straight out of New Age literature right here. In this next one, he takes a shot at Christianity. He says, I don't subscribe to the term and concept of God-fearing. That's a dated mentality that was used to control people. If God is love, and love is the opposite of fear, then to fear God makes no sense. So people who say they're God-fearing, usually it means they subscribe to Christianity. And of course, there's the Bible verse that says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And so he says that's a dated mentality, and that it was used to control people. Now that comes straight out of the books of David Icke, okay? How, religion is used to control the masses. And it's a dated mentality that, that sounds exactly like Alice Bailey. That's an old mentality we need to leave behind and move on to a better and more enlightened mentality. And then finally here, dragon energy. Okay, dragon, the great red dragon of Satan, Kundalini energy, okay, yoga, meditation. He has full-blown been initiated into the New Age. And I think in another one of his tweets, he said something about letting go of the past, which I think he may have directed specifically against the modern black community's obsession and preoccupation with the whole slavery narrative and this victim mentality. And there's this idea that they are keeping themselves down by constantly focusing on it. And a lot of black people are actually talking about this, how this mentality is holding black people down. And this whole idea of letting go of our past, which is a very important teaching in the New Age, it will eventually, mark my words, be applied to this whole slavery narrative and victim mentality, and it will overthrow it. And it's going to be applied to the black community at large. Eventually, they're going to let go of it so that they can ascend to higher levels. So it's very clear from his recent tweets that Kanye has broken free from the Illuminati, from the bondage of the New World Order elites, and has become a white magician of Alice Bailey. The army is growing, the army of New Age disciples ready to take back this planet from the Illuminati, from the Archons, from whatever, and bring about the Aquarian Brotherhood of Lucifer. I said a year and a half ago that he would eventually come out and spread New Age teachings, and indeed, he finally has. And as part of his New Age awakening, he has openly showed support for Donald Trump, which fits perfectly into what I've been talking about. It makes perfect sense that Kanye West would show support for Trump. because as I've said before, Trump is a New Age president who is helping to tear the veil of secrecy and bring the things of darkness out into the light of exposure. Alex Jones supports him. Alex Jones, a major New Ager and conspiracy theorist. Trump is helping unite people against corruption, and if you've been keeping up with Trump's presidency thus far, it's actually quite fascinating, everything that's been unfolding. He is doing his part in the great work, as the mystery schoolers call it, the great work of ushering in the age of Aquarius and global peace, and establishing the philosophic republic. But it would make perfect sense that Kanye, after now being fully awakened or initiated into the New Age mindset, would support Trump just like Alex Jones does. Trump typifies what the New Age calls the noble middle path, neither left nor right but center, which is presented in the idea of initiation, passing through the opposites, following the middle path. And although Trump obviously ran as a Republican, a third party is really not practical in this country, at least not right now, and so he had to run in one of the two major parties. And he has made his presidency thus far all about being against the establishment, both against the Democratic establishment and the Republican establishment. He's unlike anything we've seen in the history of American politics, and I'm going to try and do a separate video about Trump because I just learned something else today that actually made my jaw drop again. There is a book that's been recently published called Killing the Deep State, and there's some very significant information in there. Before Trump, American presidents have been pro-New World Order. Well, I think it's very likely that Trump is going to be the first president to actually openly be against the New World Order. He may very well in a speech talk about how evil the New World Order is and how it needs to be stopped. This would help bring belief in the existence of the New World Order out of the realm of mere conspiracy theory and more into the mainstream. And if that happens, the ushering in of the Age of Aquarius will almost be complete. I don't like saying this, but things are unfolding just as I suspected they would. Conspiracy theory and the acceptance by more and more people of the existence of the New World Order is happening. And it's because I understand the very basic model that Satan is using. Again, it's all in my What's Really Coming series. But everything that is happening is all very easy to predict when you understand the basic model. And finally, what happened with Kanye, very similar things are unfolding with other celebrities like Katy Perry, Kesha, and Jim Carrey. They seem to be publicly rebelling against the Illuminati, breaking free of their mind control and proclaiming the New Age. I'm going to try and do a video on Jim Carrey at least. His case is very interesting because he has in the past openly mocked the Illuminati.
I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, and they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things and, you know, and you know, look at him trying to calm it down.
And now he has recently undergone what seems like a dramatic mental and spiritual transformation.
As an actor, you play characters, and then if you go deep enough into those characters, you realize that your own character is pretty thin to begin with. You know? And then you suddenly have this separation and go, well, who's Jim Carrey? Oh, he doesn't exist, actually. There's just a relative manifestation of consciousness appearing, and then somebody gave him a bunch of ideas. They gave him a name and a religion and a nationality, and he clustered those together into something that's supposed to be a personality.
And I said in my comment a year and a half ago about Kanye, there will be more like him, and indeed there have been, and there will be more.
Because it's all part of the plan.